Hey, welcome back. We've now learned about the three roles in Scrum: the Scrum Master, the Product Owner, and the Developer. I want to use this video to explore the role of stakeholders with you. Now, whenever I talk about stakeholders, I usually distinguish between two types. Number one are internal stakeholders. These are all the people that work with us in the same company. Some of them are working in different teams that want something from our team. Some of them are the managers, the middle managers in our organization. Some of them are maybe in the sales and marketing department that are ultimately responsible for positioning the products and services that we create with our customers. All of these stakeholders are tremendously important and we can learn a lot from them. The second group are our external stakeholders. These are all the people that actually use our product on a day-to-day basis, our customers. No matter whether we work in an agile or a traditional way, at the beginning of any initiative, we need to have a good understanding of who our stakeholders are. A lot of people in the agile space believe that you just wing it as you go. I don't think that's the case. A proper stakeholder analysis, both in terms of who are our internal stakeholders and who are our external stakeholders, is essential to project success. Why? Because especially with those most important stakeholders, we need to bring them in early on. And as we go, we can only do incremental, iterative development if we include our stakeholders. We can only include them if we know who they are. Doing a proper stakeholder analysis is like doing your homework. Of course, you can miss homework once or twice in school, but it will definitely impact your performance in the long run, as does not doing a stakeholder analysis at the very beginning of a project initiative. Now, once we do the stakeholder analysis, I would always encourage you to bring in your stakeholders in the initial creation of a product goal or product vision. Why? Because if you're an inch apart on that product goal, you will end up miles apart on the actual product. That's not something that you're going to like, nor your stakeholders going to like it. So make sure you involve them, you get their feedback, you adjust the product vision or goal in a way that it works for the stakeholders, both internal and external, and for you. Never forget that your ultimate goal is to create a product that makes as many stakeholders as possible as happy as possible. That is the intention of a Scrum Master, of a Product Owner, and of the developers collectively. After the creation of the product goal, it becomes tremendously important on how we continuously involve our stakeholders in the development process. You remember the concept of good enough? This is not something that we can determine by ourselves. It's something that is determined by our stakeholders as they constantly see the progress that we make with our product and provide feedback. We might have a guess what good enough looks like, but ultimately we will only identify it in the constant iterations, not the increments, but the iterations we have with our stakeholders. Now, how do we involve our stakeholders on a continuous basis? First, we need to raise awareness within our stakeholders how important it is that they make time for participating in our sprint reviews, maybe even in our sprint plannings or our product backlog refinements. And don't worry, we will take a deeper look at each of these events in the next videos. Second, we need to set our reviews with regards to day and time in a way that it works for our most important stakeholders. And for that, we need to talk to them. We need to have this customer centricity also with regards to the involvement of our stakeholders, both internal and external, into our sprint reviews. Third, we need to be very clear when we need which stakeholders' input. Some stakeholders are crucial to accompany us throughout the project. Some stakeholders we only need on a temporary basis. In those cases, we need to reach out to those stakeholders and let them know, hey, 2 weeks from now, in that particular sprint review, I need you for an hour because your feedback is going to be very impactful to us as a team. And by the way, when we get your feedback, that product will also turn out in a way that you as a stakeholder will like it much better. So coordinate these things. All of these elements, whom we involve, when we involve them, at what capacity we involve them, and the awareness that we raise within them are things that both a Scrum Master and a product owner can and should do. Sometimes even the developers support doing that. So no matter what role you have as a project manager going forward, you definitely will play a crucial role towards the stakeholders. And sometimes you as a current project manager turn out to be a stakeholder for a Scrum team. And for that, it's important to know what your role is. Your role is not to take all the decisions for them. Your role is to accompany them and help them make better decisions so that ultimately that team, together with you, is able to create a better product in a better way. Now that we've explored the roles and accountabilities in Scrum, including the stakeholders, we will start taking a deeper look at the events in which all of these roles actually participate. See you in those.